I was recording a video that I was going to release sometime this week, and I took a shot, and it was a shot of me going into the fridge. And when I'd recorded it, I went back to have a look at seeing how it was, and I was absolutely shocked. I realised how much weight I'd put on when I saw the size of my belly. Now, I knew how much weight I'd put on over the course of the winter because I always do. But it wasn't until I saw this shot that I realised how much. And so I'm here before you today to let you know that I'm actually going to do something about it now. And you can keep a check on me to make sure that I do. Now, I have been down this road before, and sometimes I've done well and sometimes I haven't. Now, more than once I've said that I'm going to lose weight. And I've started with good intentions, but after a couple of days, I've drifted away and that's gone. And the minute it's gone, I've started to pile the pounds back on worse than I did before. Back in the summer of 2009, though, myself and Debs decided that it was time to get serious and really do it properly. We'd said it before, but this time we really meant it. Our clothes were so tight, we were ashamed to be seen out in them. Personally, I was sick of looking at myself. I had this great big belly. I'd be worn out if we actually went out for a walk. My breathing was suffering, and so was my self-esteem. I can remember saying, "That's it, I've had enough, I'm going on a diet." What we did was we bagged up most of our clothes that were so tight, and we took them to the charity shop and donated them. We kept a few clothes, and that was the day that we made the decision that we were really serious. We signed up for Slimming World and we got on with it. My starting weight was 16 stone 7, and for a man of just over 5'6", that's atrocious. I set my goal to be 12 stone 11, which meant that I needed to lose 53 pounds. 2 weeks in, I'd lost 6 pounds. And after a month, I'd lost 11. 6 weeks in, I'd lost 14 pounds. So that was my first stone. When we went shopping that week, I went down the sugar aisle and picked up 7 bags of sugar and held them like that to see how heavy they actually were. And I was surprised how heavy 7 bags of sugar is. Around this time, I started walking daily because, to be fair, my life was quite sedentary. I could find myself coming into this office at about 7:30 in the morning and staying here till 5, with the exceptions of taking a toilet break or going for something to eat or drink, which meant that I was in here for about 8 or 9 hours a day. 7 weeks later, which was 13 weeks in, I'd lost 2 stone and I was over halfway to my goal. Each week, I'd walk a little further and I started to feel better for it. After 26 weeks, I finally had managed to lose 3 stone, and so I was really well on my way. I only had 11 pounds to lose. Mind you, it took me 16 weeks to lose those other 11 pounds. In fact, when I finally finished, I'd outdone my goal and actually lost 4 stone. It took 42 weeks to do it, but I did it, and I completed it on the 15th of May 2020. How did Debs get on? Well, she managed to lose 3 stone as well. So how did we manage to do it that time when we'd failed so many times before? Well, I put it down to one word: you gotta wanna. After I'd reached my goal, I did well for a while and held it, but slowly and gradually I started to put the weight back on. I tried to keep on track, but really my desire had gone. I'd lost my you gotta wanna. And so, 4 years down the road, I'm back to where I was. And I am now at 16 stone 7, the exact same weight I was when I started the diet before. Now, I'm not silly. I knew I was putting weight back on, and I knew I'd put nigh on all of it back on. But it wasn't until I saw that bit of film earlier in the week that I realised that, do you know what? I've got to do this again and sort this out once and for all. And so this week, I'm starting again. Now, there are 5 areas that I need to look at. Firstly, I need to look at exercise. By the time I'd lost my weight when I'd been on that diet, I was walking about 10 to 12,000 steps a day. And since then, it's dwindled back, to be fair. And recently, I may have been walking up to 1,000, but certainly no more than 1,000 steps. Second is food portions. Now, I do love my food, and I'm well known for piling it up on the plate. But that's not the way to go. And one of the worst things is if we go out to eat, my downfall is always a pudding. I have been known to go so far as to order a pudding for the family and eat it all to myself. Yes, I am that bad. And now, in order to help me this time round, we've bought one of those plates which shows you the size of portions you should have and what it should consist of. Speaking of eating, thirdly, I have got to cut out on snacking through the course of a day, because with me it's a bag of crisps here, bar of chocolate there, a sandwich, all that sort of stuff early on in the day, and I'm terrible for it. And the fourth thing I have to cut back on is what makes the sandwich. It's bread. That is my downfall. Because I'm usually here on my own, I don't like to stop when I'm doing something, so lunches are a bit of a nightmare, and sandwiches are so easy to make, and so therefore I end up eating more bread than I really ought to. Not only that, but I'd probably eat another bag of crisps, eat some fruit, that'd be my healthy bit, but on top of that I'd probably eat a yoghurt as well. The trouble is I'm lazy, and rather than make something healthy for lunch, I'd rather have something quick and get on with my day. And so finally, the fifth thing I need to address is eating after 6 o'clock when we've had dinner. Because what will happen is I'll generally have dinner and then we'll sit down for the evening and we'll watch a bit of telly, and I'll be up and rummaging through the cupboards to find a snacklet to eat. Now, there are some good things. I don't drink a lot of alcohol. Let me give you an example. In February of 2023, someone gave me a crate of 15 lagers. And at this moment in time, there are still 2 left. I do, however, drink 2 litres of water a day, maybe 3, as you can see. Having only one kidney, I'm well aware that I need to keep it rehydrated. And so from the day I had the other kidney took out, I've always ensured that I drink enough water. One thing I learned in my journey to dieting last time was that it's very easy to become disheartened. I had that happen the last time when I thought I wasn't losing weight quickly enough. I was talking about it to someone at the time, and they said to me that even though I may not be losing any amount of weight, the body could well be changing. She suggested I get a bit of string, wrap it round me until it's touching on my stomach, and then cut it. I did this and was shocked at how high up my body it came when I held it in my hand. What she said was that as time progressed, I should wrap it around my body and see how far the string began to overlap. Sure enough, 10 days later, the string had overlapped by about an inch, even though I didn't really lose much weight. And so here I am, restarting my weight loss journey. I don't want to lose as much weight as I did the last time, because people who saw me thought that I was ill because I'd lost so much weight. So this time, I'm only looking to lose around 2 stone. I am, of course, going to start my exercise regime of walking and start using the portion plate with smaller portions to see how that works. I'll let you know how I'm getting on as the weeks progress. Let me ask you though, have you been successful with weight loss? What tips can you pass on to me to keep me motivated while I start this journey again? Perhaps you have food suggestions from when you were on the journey. Well, if you have, please leave a comment down below, because I do love reading them. And if you look up there, I'll tell you why I think you should look after yourself. I'll see you next time.